Ho, 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 bitches.
Howdy doody, little Christmas elf.
Howdy doody. Welcome to December with the Professionally Hot Podcast.
Where we're really professionally hot and we do professionally hot things. And it's
We
our
do.
show, so we talk about what we want to talk about.
Oh, hell yeah. Can we actually take a minute to talk about how cool it was to see our podcast on people's Spotify Wrapped?
I know. I just wasn't expecting it for some reason. And then, like, people started posting, and I was like, oh, yeah, we have a
Dude,
podcast.
right? I know. I mean, like, okay, fine. We have like a fucking podcast. Like, I mean, like, first of all, love the podcast, love
Yeah.
the whole thing. But like, I mean, like, I kind of thought, didn't you think for like 1 minute that people were just like lying about listening to
Yeah, I feel like it wasn't like I know we're
it?
professionally hot, but it didn't feel that professional until people were posting us.
I know. Now I'm like, oh my God, that's it. So yeah, to everybody that's listening to this one, first of all, I can't believe you listened to any of them. Thank you.
I know, you guys are nice.
And thanks for the Spotify rap tags because that made
Yeah.
both of us feel so cool.
I know, I literally filmed it for AshleyTea and was like, look at this. Like so like it wasn't even just like a couple people. Like there was like 10 plus people that posted and were like, Professionally Hot Podcast made it onto my Spotify Wrapped. And I was like, that's so nice.
I know. And like some people that also listen to like okay, wait, I'm gonna say like actual podcasts.
Yeah.
But like I'm like, damn, our cell phone fucking shit ass recorded podcast is
I
making it.
know.
Oh man.
You know
That's
what?
so
We were
cool.
like mostly like number two on a lot of people's Wrapped, but I think this next year when we start to like have video and like all those things included in it, we're gonna be number one. We're gonna be the only one.
We are gonna be the single only podcast left of all podcasts.
Yeah, and I messaged you last night and said that how cool would it be because I didn't even know that AVN had an awards section for podcasts. Like I don't know why that never crossed my mind, but I saw someone else post and theirs got nominated and I was like, no, ours is gonna get nominated.
Well, that's where like, okay, I made a TikTok of this recently and I was like being liked for my personality in this economy. Like, are you joking? But I kind of love that for us as
I
well.
know.
Very
Yeah.
much.
Like
Yeah.
we'll forever be in the sex industry. We won't have to get naked.
We'll just talk shit
Yeah.
instead. What a concept.
Yeah, love that for us. Can you imagine us going up on stage to accept an award? Like
No, we both
surrounded.
shit our pants. Are
I know.
you joking?
I would absolutely start crying. Just I would start getting a cold sweat. I
I
feel
think I
like I'm
just
gonna
barf.
puke. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we both barf a little bit.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm manifesting it for us
Oh my
regardless. It's
God, I love that
happening.
for us. Perfect.
This episode I think is about gratitude.
Okay, yeah. So we would really like to talk about gratitude because no matter what, by the way, just for everyone out there listening, me and Kenzie's lives are like both kind of fucking trash can fires at the moment. So like um still the attitude is gratitude, baby.
Yeah.
It is. And like especially with the holidays rolling around and like kind of recapping the year and shit, like, and also recapping a decade in the industry, there's so much to be like super grateful for.
Yeah, no, it's
And
very true.
like I mean for all of our like sex work brothers and sisters and non-beanie family members in the industry, and then also for all of the supporters and members and stuff, like we just have so much to like say thank you for. So I feel like just I kind of want to like do a bunch of thank yous.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, like even just the podcast has like given us a huge space to be able to talk about what we want to talk about and like express ourselves and like engage with people that maybe didn't know about the industry as much, and now we get to make it even better. And just like I don't know, like it's just so nice to have done it, like to have this year. Like there's so many things about this year that I could say were shitty, but then
Yeah.
I also there's so many things that happened that were good. And I don't know, I just it's hard to be angry at all the things when like we do have so much to be thankful for, even just like
Oh
being
yeah.
friends and having people listen to us. And I don't know, there's just a lot, and it's very
Having
sweet.
people pay us, that's also super dope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really nice of you guys. Please keep doing that.
Yeah. So since it's the season of giving, I feel like this episode is giving.
It's giving. Slay, sister.
Okay, well then I feel like a fun place to start would be like obviously being grateful for the friendships that
Mhm.
we've made like along the way.
Yeah, I feel like you've made a lot of new friends this year. Am I wrong? I feel like you've like, I don't know, you have like your little Dungeons and Dragons group. Is that what you're playing?
Yeah, man, I'm playing
Yeah.
D&D
And you
finally.
started doing Twitch and you have like a good community on there that, like a lot of them came from MFC and stuff, but I feel like a lot of
Yeah.
them are brand new people too.
Yeah. And I mean like if it wasn't for the sluts and the whores, where would I be kind of thing? Like
Yeah, true
I
that.
kind of think about I think about where I was in terms of like having like close female friendships, or close girlfriends or however you want to call it, like pre MFC, and then
Yeah.
like how like I think cam girl friendships have like totally changed my perspective on like what it means to be a friend.
No, it's so true. And a
Yeah.
big blessing to be able to reflect back on it and know that like you have a good support group and people around you that like genuinely care about not even when you're going through tough times, but like when you're also okay and like people still check in on you and like and I'm saying that for myself too. Like we're both very
Yeah.
lucky to have such like strong female friends. Ew, female.
I know it's just a weird word, right?
I don't even
Like
like
gal
saying that.
pals.
Yes. The bitch clique.
Exactly. Slut squad. Ooh.
I like
Um,
that one.
but like, okay, let me just say, there's something like unique about the friendships you make with people that like you either like make out with or get naked with or like fuck to make content with.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I agree.
Like I feel like a part of me was like, I mean like, okay, yes, making out with women top tier. But like I was looking for like relationships, especially with women and stuff that like were just deeper and
Hmm.
more weird, I guess,
Yeah,
than
it's the
like, I don't know.
platonic soulmates, man.
Yeah, yeah, there was something missing from my life that I think like the cam girl sisterhood kind of provided.
Yeah.
And that shit's so unique.
No, it is. Not a lot of people get to experience that. And I see so many people post on TikTok, like a lot of women, looking like talking about how they don't have a good, strong friend group. And I just like my older self could definitely relate, but like the version that I am now can't relate at all because I'm like, I don't even know what that's like anymore to like not have friends to call, even if I don't feel like I like can reach out, like I feel like especially like me and you like we're very psychic with each other and we're
Oh my
like
god, so psychic.
something's wrong.
I sense the universe is tingling. It's like
Yeah.
spidey senses, except for we're just fucking psychic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's true. And
Yeah, I don't know. It was like I think okay, I know at least in the heyday of like MFC, especially from like 2015 to I'd say like end of 2017, 2018, like anybody that was on sex work Twitter or camgirl Twitter at that point in time knew that like there was fucking beef going
yeah.
on constantly.
Oh yeah.
Constantly. Like people were like just falling out left, right, and center. And there was like all this like crazy, like, I definitely toxic, like angry, possessive, like all this stuff going on. But I think maybe what gets lost a little bit in the mix was the formation of these like really incredible friendships.
Mhm. No, it's so true. I see a lot more girls nowadays like actually keeping the friends that they have. Like I think about like the friend group that Cleo blossoms in, or
Mm-hmm.
even Jazz and
And
Chew.
Sleepy
Like
Chew.
yeah,
And oh
like
my God, I
just like
know.
you can tell that they're good friends, and I think people probably see like our friend group because so many people will say to me like, "I'm so jealous of your friend group," and I'm like, well, you deserve that same thing too. Like it's
Yeah.
it's not it's not unattainable at all. Like it completely is, accessible, but
It
it's not an easy
is.
thing to find. It's really not.
No,
Like,
no, it's not.
we think about all the friends that we've gone through since we've started camming, and I don't mean that in like a way. I just mean like you end up having friendships that you kind of think are really good ones, and they just don't last. Like, it's,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
surface level, and you become friends with a lot of people because of camming. Like,
Yeah.
location wise, and I think there's like a false sense of like, well, everyone's just like the same when it comes to camming and stuff, and like,
Mm-hmm.
they're only as bad shit as I am, but that's just
Yeah.
not true. Like,
Yeah.
they show their real colors and stuff, and some friendships are meant to be a season, a reason, a lifetime kind of thing. But
Yeah.
I think that like when you find it, you're like, I'm not letting this shit go. Like, I have said multiple times that if we ever, which I don't know what the issue would be, that like it would just stop us from actually talking. But I'm like, I know where you fucking live. Like,
Yeah,
I will
exactly. Oh, Sam, like I will hunt you
absolutely,
down.
yeah, like
I will make it
you will get
better.
a knock at your fucking window, and it'll be me throwing up and crying and being like, please
Yeah,
take me
exactly.
back.
No,
Like, it's not worth
exactly.
it to like lose it. And I think that because we are in our 30s, and it's not like, I don't know, I can't like afford to have issues with people. Like, it doesn't, there's too many
Yeah.
obstacles and hardships in life that like
Yeah. I
when
don't got the time for that.
yeah, like I don't have the time for drama, and we just don't. Like, it is so rare that there's anything, and it we were just talking about our relationship, and like that we know when to shut shit down with each other, and not in a mean way or like in a, you're annoying me way, but just in like, I know who this person is and what they need in these moments. And like, that's
Yeah.
so nice. Like, such a
Yeah.
rare thing to find in people, and I'm very grateful for it. Keyword of the day.
Yeah. Well, and I think about this a lot because, I kind of like, okay, first of all, we were raised in the mean girl era,
Hmm.
right? Like we were taught like from a fucking wee young age that like other women were competition, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. And then, on top of that, we also live in a society that like really, really over emphasizes, over romanticizes romantic relationships. Like that they create this big, huge line between like these are your friends and then this is your romantic partner. Um and they're supposed to be like, clearly defined types.
Hmm.
And I think like with cam girlfriends, or especially if you meet for the sake of like creating content or whatever, right? Like there's something uniquely bonding about doing like the makeout videos, doing the bath videos, do
Yeah.
like they bring about like, what you would expect from a romantic relationship, but it just kind of, I don't know, what am I saying, like make out with your friends, like for
Yeah.
fuck's sake, I don't know, I think it just makes it better.
Yeah, well, there's some, I don't know, it's like romance and intimacy in a different way. There's nothing else expected from it. Like, I think there's a lot more of like, maturity and consensual mind that's like wrapped around it, where you're like,
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely like, I think about like you and Ash and stuff, and just like
Mm-hmm.
that, like you guys have this, like other side of your relationship that can be
Mm-hmm.
like flirty and sexual and sweet and stuff, but it's never like expected. Like,
Yeah,
you're not like just hookup friends. And I think obviously with guys that definitely gets like entangled into other shit, and
for sure, for sure,
but
there's
like
like
you
a
have
layer of expectation.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you have feelings for Ash, and she has feelings for you, and I have
I
feelings for you,
know.
and you
I
have
know, we
feelings for
all
me.
have feelings
And
for
like,
each
we don't
other.
have to hide that. There's no like,
Yeah.
I can tell you I love you, and I would literally jump off a mountain for you, and you'd be like,
Yeah,
yes.
same.
Like, there's no like, wow, that's a lot. I don't know, there's just some,
Yeah.
it's very different. And if you I would absolutely tell people that if you don't have close friends, and you're like lonely, it is that's what you should be seeking out, is like
Yep.
that, the community space, and just like where you can be yourself. Because like,
Yeah.
dating is hard enough, and you're not gonna, I don't think that if I didn't have you guys, I think I would be a lot more lonely, and like consistently searching for a man to fill that space up. But like,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
I'm in Vancouver, I don't feel like when I'm alone in my room, I'm like, God, I need a fucking boyfriend. But then
Yeah.
when I'm in Vancouver, I don't think about those things. Like, yeah, I'm looking at guys and stuff, but I'm not empty. Like, there's no like
Yeah.
space for me to like feel like I'm missing out on something, because I'm getting so much intimacy that I can't give myself, like, whether it's just like sitting on your couch 5 feet
Yeah, for
away from
sure.
each other, like
Yeah, because I
those
had
are
COVID for my birthday.
yeah. But I mean, even then, like, I was still like, well, I guess I'll just stay here and get COVID. Like, it wasn't like a
Yeah.
big deal.
Thank
Like,
God you didn't, but like, oh yeah.
but I just didn't even think. I was like, well, I guess I'll just like call my dad and ask him what I should do. And he was like, well, why would you leave? I'm like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
that's a
there's no
great
reason.
question.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just,
Then yeah, I'm really grateful for MFC and like
hmm
the way that like because you just dropped a fucking fatty word that I think is so important, like community.
hmm
The industry created opportunities for really unique community
yeah,
in ways that like I have like friends that are outside the industry, and like our friendships are fucking incredible. I'm lucky to have friends that are within sex work and outside of sex work, and
yeah,
like you don't compare, right? But at the same time, there are things that being MFC girls, like
hmm
the doors were just open in different directions,
yeah.
and it made things like I'm grateful for the platform even just for that.
Yeah, no, I agree. And even like going to AVN, like you get there, and I think a lot of people, like, your first year kind of thing where you're expecting like no one to know you, but you've made friends online, and like there were so many girls that I would just like walk up to and be like, hi, like, I can't believe like we're finally meeting. And it wasn't like you didn't have to try, like you were just
No,
already friends, and the internet friends. Like, I think it's so funny that like our parents warned us so much about talking to strangers online. We've made our entire careers off of
out
that.
of like talking to strangers,
Yeah,
exactly,
but they're
exactly.
not strangers anymore, like I was just saying about like to my Twitch room the other day that like there's like that they're on my close friends. Like, I don't just like
Mhm.
put people on there for no reason. Like, I'm like, I care about you guys just the same way I do anyone else that I talk to, like
Yeah.
it's just a different, yeah, the community. And I think once again, Tumblr really, like you said that on the first episode, that like Tumblr
Mhm.
really brought this like community sense. And
Yeah.
we were lucky to have that transfer over to MFC, and that gave us 10 years of fucking community that we were able to like expand with. And that's just like
Yeah, yeah, and
wild.
create, these little like, little pockets of even deeper, community, because industry and community are two different things. And
Hmm
I think we mentioned this at some other point, but I don't care because I don't remember anything. Like just because we're in the same industry doesn't necessarily mean that we're all built for like close friendships with one another because we're people.
Right.
But there is something unique about being in like a highly stigmatized industry that sets the groundwork for like we're both in it,
Yeah.
and now because of that we get each other in a certain way.
Yeah. No, it's very true. It's very
Yeah.
sweet. Wholesome.
Yeah.
Wholesome from the sluts.
And you know what? Let's segue. Beep beep. Hopping on my fucking segue. Get on, Kens. Let's
I'm
go.
getting on.
Is like I wouldn't have been able to like spend the time to create these like amazing camp girl friendships
Hmm
if it wasn't for the people that were paying me to be
Oh
able to
yeah.
stay on the site.
No, it's true. I mean, I wouldn't be able to like go out and see you and you guys come here. Like, we wouldn't have had my birthday celebration if we didn't have the time to take off, and the money that was coming in and stuff, and just like the peace to be able to go and not have to think too much about
Mm-hmm.
real life. Like, you actually get a
Mm-hmm.
break. And I think,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people don't probably have that experience where, like, their vacations are vacations because they don't have to. I don't know, it's just very
Yeah, it's
different.
different. It's different. And like, I'm so grateful for the people out there that have chosen, this form of entertainment as like the entertainment that they decide to put money toward, right?
Hmm
Like, people can have fun doing all sorts of things, but the people that have chosen, not just to enjoy, because again, my free cams, yeah, sure, you can fucking watch for free forever. Good job.
Yeah.
But the people that are like, no, like I'm here and I'm spending money because, I'm having fun, like, holy shit, I am so grateful for those people.
Yeah, no, same. I said that on my last night of cam. I was like, I was like, you guys know that you don't have to tip, right? Like,
Yeah.
in a real spectrum of things, like, yes, I'm giving my time and energy doing something that could be possibly entertaining to you guys. But at the same time, like, you guys are still like really nice for just like tipping for like a $45 shot.
Yeah,
Like, no one
for
else does
real.
that.
Yeah.
And
Like
like
who
they were
does
like,
that, right?
"What? We don't have to tip?" I was like, "Well, I don't mean
Well, I
like
mean, like you
that."
can, but yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But it's just, we're so lucky. I mean, we'll touch on like how grateful I am for, like, kind of our, once again, out of industry supporters, a community from industry, that, the ones we've built for one another and
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But like, just, industry as a whole, like, I'm so grateful for the people that pay for their porn.
Yeah, no, it's so nice. And even just like not even the porn side, like just to like hang out, like that's so nice.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like that
Yeah.
that definitely is not something I would have seen for myself. At least not when I first started. Like I definitely thought it was only sex driven and like,
Yeah, me too.
and that's like your first night, you had people telling you that you didn't, or not your first night, but your first, month camming or whatever, telling that if you didn't get naked, you wouldn't have anyone that would care. And like that's
Yeah.
just not true. And you made that
Yeah.
very clear.
Yeah. Like, it's just, it's wild how much of, I think we talked about this, I think on the last one, it's wild how much stigma there is against, people that pay for OnlyFans stuff, people
Hmm.
that pay. I feel like campsites are even weirder.
Yeah.
You
No,
know
I
what I mean?
agree.
Like at this point, it's like, oh yeah, he's subscribed to an OnlyFans, like whatever, that's one thing. But like, the guys that go on campsites, I think they get even more flack. Like, it might even be more of like a secret for them. Like, they
Yeah.
might not, be able to say with their whole chest, like, yeah, I fucking spent $500 on cam girls last month. Like, people have like kind of ideas of like what that might mean, but like, I'm grateful as fuck for all of the people that were there tipping for dumbass shit.
Yeah. No, I agree. And like the people that would, tell if they were gonna like talk to people in their lives about, where they spend their time and that they're on a camming site, and like even if they said that they spent $500 and it was really $10,000, they'd
Yeah.
still get shit for the 500. Like
Mm-hmm.
I mean one of our girls that, shout out to KJ, she had someone that was saying that the only reason that we're friends with her is because she was buying us stuff. And I was like, well, she's not buying us stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah,
was
exactly.
like, she messaged me the other day and said that she had someone message her, like some random cam model, and was like asking KJ to buy her a $400 camera or something. And she
Well,
was like, you and Ashley never, and like Ash never asked me to do any of that
no.
stuff. And I'm like, because you're not a wallet to us. Like,
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
it's such a blessing and like so wonderful when she'll send me like a candle or something, but like I
Yeah.
don't need her to do that. Like it's so nice when they tip and stuff, but like the extra gifts, like I have a member that's sending me like a big giant box of stuff, he's making his own moonshine, and like I didn't ask for that,
Oh,
but like
fuck yeah.
it's so nice. Like they have no
Yeah.
reason to do that except for the fact that like
Yeah.
they trust me enough to be like in their lives in some way, whether that's a message a week or not. Like, and
Mm-hmm.
I have no reason to leave that, like, because they're also a friend. It's not
Yeah.
just like the cam community brought us together, but it's more than that when you actually like want it to be more than that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want those relationships. I've always said that. And I think that also comes into play with like me and you not being able to fake a personality
Yeah, that would be
online.
so dope.
Yeah.
Oh my God, can you
I
imagine?
can't because I don't know what that's
I don't know
like.
how. I can't. I can't. I've
But
never
like
figured it out. I've
that
tried.
for the people that, are friends with us online and stuff, like they don't want us to fake our personalities. Like they want to hear what's really going on. People are genuinely asking. They're not asking to, make themselves look better or
No.
something. Like they want to
No.
know if you're okay, and like you're allowed, and also you are allowed to say that you're not okay, and no one's going to be like, "Well, gosh, like,
Yeah.
why just
Yeah.
lie to me or something," because it's like, well, that's not that's not
Yeah.
real.
That's
That's
not
not
what it is.
reality.
Yeah. And it's I think it's an interesting fine line, especially coming from, MFC, especially both of us having gone through, the reasons that we left, right? Like, there were lots
Hmm.
of reasons. And after 10 years, I mean, even after 5 years, it doesn't matter how much time you spend, it senses of like bitterness, jadedness, expectations, like, those are normal. Those are natural.
Hmm.
Like, when you're performing for a living, especially when you're performing, porn, or you're performing naked, there there exists that, fuck you, pay me,
Yeah.
but it exists at the same time as everything that we just said.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And it might be kind of hard, I think, for people that, are are not, they've never really spent time on a campsite before, but
Hmm.
like, Honestly, the best decision I ever made. Okay, but back when I started, I like heard a piece of advice that was like, if you don't make your goal within a certain amount of time, you should log off, right? Like you
Mm-hmm.
should say, hey, you know what? If I'm not going to be like being paid for my time, then I'm not going to stick around. And like from a business standpoint, I like you're setting your terms, and like I
Yeah.
really did think that that was the move. But I made so much more money and had so much more fun when I dropped that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, the
Like
nights that you don't try as hard are the nights that you actually make the most, which
yeah,
is
exactly. Which
very
is like,
strange.
cool. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna ever cover my entire body in glitter oil ever again. But like,
Yeah.
it just it changed things for them and for me. And the underlying like they know that in order for us to continue to provide the entertainment, they
Yeah.
do need to contribute in some way. Otherwise, like, if I can't pay my internet bill, I can't be their chosen form of entertainment anymore. Everybody
Right.
knows that.
Yeah.
But it ends up kind of being pushed further and further outside of like the reason why we're all there,
Mm-hmm.
which is really I don't know, man. I'm just fucking grateful for like the people that decided to stick around and have fun.
Yeah. No, I agree. And, even the ones that can't always tip, like, they still try and they're there for support. And, like, I don't know, it's a weird
Dude,
place to be at, but
how fucking grateful are we for chatters?
yeah, no, for real. Like the people that like continue and that I love when they're always like, sorry, I just like, am I talking too much? I'm like, no, please
You're like, no,
continue.
for the love of God, because if it's just me talking to myself, I will last about 45 minutes before I have a nervous breakdown.
Yeah, they like when I first log into Twitch and then one person comes to my room, I'm like, oh, thank God.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like even on, on MFC as well, like the culture was different, right?
Hmm.
But like I still felt a lot of gratitude for when my, core members would show up even if they didn't have, really much to contribute at all.
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Like the last thing I would want is for a fucking empty chat room just because people were like, yo, I actually don't have $20 to throw down today, kind of thing.
Yeah. I always hated when people would say like, sorry, I'm not gonna come in tonight because I don't have any money, and I'm like, okay. I
Yeah,
don't.
and I mean, like, sure, like if the fun for them is rolling through and throwing stacks, then like, who am I
Yeah.
to judge? But at the same time, please come say hi because
Yeah,
I
like
will be lonely.
yeah, like it doesn't really take, you don't have to give the full effort, especially if you're not new. Like if we've been friends for like a while and you're afraid to come in because you don't have tokens or whatever,
Hmm.
then like maybe I'm not doing a good enough job to show you that like I I would rather have you here than not at all,
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I'll just straight up tell them like I don't like, as much as I would like, tokens are always very much appreciated, but at the same time like so is me not sitting and logging off because no one wants to talk.
yeah. And I mean, it builds like putting that forward. I think what I was worried about at the beginning was, oh, if I kind of make it seem like it's okay to not contribute, then everyone's going to be a freeloader, right?
Hmm.
Like, first of all, fuck freeloaders, because there's
Yeah.
such a difference between like a chatter and someone who like might not be able to contribute for like a period of time. Those people are not freeloaders.
Yeah, no, the people that are freeloaders are the ones that aren't doing anything. They're just
Jack
there to
shit.
jack off, or they're telling you, I'm jacking off right now. And you're
And you're
like,
like,
I don't
okay,
fucking
like I
care.
literally don't care at all. Yeah. A
No.
freeloader is like, and if you roll through, if you're respectful, if you can make me laugh, if you can
Hmm.
like help me continue the chat moving forward, and you're not asking me shit,
Yeah.
or for the love of God, you're not asking the rest of the, nothing pisses me off more than like someone being like, yo, like it's kind of slow in here, like who's got tokens?
Oh,
I'm
I
like,
know.
bro, you literally just killed the vibe.
Yeah,
Like,
and like,
don't do that for me.
why don't you listen to your own advice and you tip if you
Yeah,
feel
you
like
do
everyone
that.
should be tipping?
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
thankfully like that does happen, like that happens quite rarely or whatever. It's
Yeah.
not common. But um yeah,
Yeah.
just grateful for, I mean, like, because that's like, bro, that's our whole lives.
Yeah. Well, and on top of that, like, just getting in the holiday spirit, I have had the best Christmases because of Cam. Like,
Yeah,
it's not even, I mean, like, I am definitely guilty of being like, guys, there's no presents underneath my fucking tree. Like, why hasn't anyone
yeah,
sent me
yeah, yeah,
anything?
yeah,
But that's
yeah,
just because I expect it. I deserve it. I know I do. And I don't care if that sounds, snotty. I've been doing this long enough to know that, like, I'm cared for. And
yeah.
when I don't have the visible representation of my hard work, I'm like, excuse me, but even if I don't complain, I still get so much love from people. And I'm not talking about like, $500 gifts. I'm talking about just shit from my Amazon wish list that I don't really need, but I'm like, hee hee, I get to open
Yeah,
it.
or
Like,
like the dumbest stuff. I don't know,
yeah,
man.
like, fucking, like someone, my first year of camming, my dad got so mad. I don't know how this happened, but one of my members sent do you remember my giant stuffed giraffe that I had?
Oh my fucking God. Yes,
Yeah,
I
that was like
do.
one of my first members that just like sent that to my parents' house. And it showed up on Christmas morning, and my dad was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I was like, "I don't know." And I
You're like,
opened it, and it's just like a stuffed giraffe. And he's like, "How did they get our address?" I'm like, "I don't know."
you're like, I don't know. Now I have a huge ass giraffe.
Yeah, and
But
I
like that's
loved that giraffe.
hilarious.
Yeah, it was so
Yeah.
cute. People just bought me giraffe stuff for like years because I mean, I still love giraffes, but like I donated that to a children's hospital because I was like, well, I don't really like, it's not something that I can see myself keeping with me, but like it was so nice. And I mean, that those were just like the sweetest things. And
Yeah.
Christmas time, there's so many fun things that you can do, like whether it's through content and like doing, 12 days of Christmas or shit like that
Yeah.
where like people are about it. I still have people buy my videos for Christmas time in the middle of July. They'll be like, I
Oh my
want
God, I
this
know.
Santa stuffed her fucking socks video
Yeah,
or whatever. And I'm like, sure
exactly.
thing. Ho ho
You're
ho.
yeah, ho ho ho. It's July, whatever. You need some
Yeah.
Christmas fucking titty spirit. I got you.
Yeah. But I love
Um,
that. It's very
yeah.
it's makes the
So
holiday spirit easier. And I would imagine that for people that don't have family or friends and stuff that like having the camming side of Christmas. I'm sure there's tons of people that will spend Christmas on MFC because they just, they don't have,
there are, yeah,
yeah.
I've done, you know what I have? I've actually done, I know I've done a Christmas Eve one, and
Hmm.
I think one year I swung through on MFC. It was like bright and early. Like I was there like 7 a.m. before like my own family stuff happened.
Yeah.
But we just sat down for a cup of fucking what, like I like to say eggnog. It's mostly rum. But like we just kind of sat and like said Merry Christmas and stuff, and it was like so fucking cute.
Yeah. No, it's really wholesome and like you don't have to do it because I think people are like, yeah, like, she's got stuff going on, but
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that appreciate it just like to see, you and hang out with a little
Yeah,
bit
it's and
for,
it's like it's cute. It's
yeah,
cute. It's cute in such a unique way,
I
right?
know.
Like, whether someone like it like really the whole MFC like, experience is like that is really the entirety of like what they're doing for the holidays, or any combination of like, yeah, like I do the cam girl fun thing and then like I also go off to do my own shit, or like whatever.
Yeah.
They're still choosing to like celebrate the holidays in this like super weird, fun, sexy little way that's like it's just a good time.
No, it is. And I feel like with like shit going on right now for both of us, it's really hard to remember not to remember to be thankful because I feel like that like we've trained our brains
Oh
to
yeah, no,
remember
you
those
and I,
things, and
yeah,
it is like
yeah,
important to keep us going. But I don't feel entirely thankful for the way that the rest of the year is the past couple of weeks, I will
oh
say,
yeah,
because I
dude,
can't predict the future. I don't know what's
yep,
going to come with the rest of December, and I'd like
yeah,
to think that it would be all good, but it's life and life happens.
yeah.
But I am also I every single time that I'm feeling not thankful, I always go back to this is the human experience. It is filled with hardships and shit thrown on the fucking wall and shit to literally clean up. And it is
Yep.
hard and it beats you fucking down and it makes you feel like nothing's ever gonna get better. But then all of a sudden you're like, hold on, let me look around my room and remind myself that I'm thankful that I have my dog and I am thankful that
Yeah.
I have my friend to talk to on the phone and thankful for my bed and my fucking
Yeah.
computer that my parents bought me even though they didn't have to. Like there's so many things that I'm like, no bitch, take it back. Like
Yeah.
you don't know how hard it can be and
Yep.
it doesn't take away from any of the
No.
things that you're experiencing now. They still fucking suck.
Yep.
But,
But I mean, like, if I'm looking in front of me right now, like, first of all, both of our lives, for 10 years have been like literally everything from groceries to shampoo
mhm.
to, fucking designer. Like, remember when we had that like designer phase that
Yeah.
lasted for like 1 second? Like, that was weird, but
But
like,
we were able
whatever,
to do it, like
yeah, like
I
all of
bought a
that
Christian
rent.
Dior bracelet and
I
necklace
know.
because I wanted to and I could, it wasn't
Yeah,
like,
like, and then like rent and travel
yeah,
and my entire degree and like, all those big things. But But I look in front of me right now, and the desk that's in the like in the front in actually sorry Kenzie, the desk that's in your bedroom,
Yeah, it's my room.
the guest bedroom in my house is Kenzie's bedroom. One of my members, do you remember Mike? I don't know if you remember. He was like, yeah, we were like super tight. He bought me that desk off of Amazon
Yeah,
like 7 years ago.
no, I think about that all the time, that I'm like, the things that are in my room right now are mostly from members
Yeah,
in some way, whether it was like an Amazon gift card or,
yeah,
whatever. I'm like, wow, thanks
yeah.
guys.
It's either like I was able to make these purchases, or do these experiences because of like the accumulation of like, love from like all across the board, or
Yeah.
like holy shit, Kind Wolf sent me a heated blanket like 2 years ago, like an electric plug-in blanket. I use that shit every day. I mean,
Yeah.
all winter long, and every single time I'm like, I'm so fucking grateful for
Yeah.
this like this is the best.
Yeah. No, it's so nice. And I
Yeah.
think like having those moments of being like, no, I have people that care enough to, even with just buying things, like it can sound so shallow because our lives are so involved with money, and like whose life
Whose isn't?
isn't, but like it's just a this is our experience,
It's
so it's,
unique.
yeah,
Yeah, it is
it is
unique.
unique. And it's just like, I don't know, I like when people are like, where'd you get that thing? I'm like, oh, like one of my friends sent it to me, and that just sounds so random. Like,
Yeah.
why would my friend send me a giant box of moonshine and gift cards and like,
Yeah.
a cowboy hat? And I'm just like, yeah, well, it's normal for me, like that. And it's like, it's not expected, but I'm also like, well, yeah, like that's how I've always done things for the
Yeah.
past 10 years.
Yeah,
Like,
it is. And I
and
think,
I have,
yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I think again, to like the untrained ear, or the uneducated kind of person, like you'd assume that like cam girl Christmas would be like, lingerie and sex toys, and
Mm-hmm.
like, sure, if it's on your Amazon wish list, or like sure if someone's so inclined, but I'd say 90% of the holiday like physical stuff has been like thoughtful.
Yeah, I mean, shit, like, Nick, like he's
Yeah.
been in my life for a while now, and he's definitely listening to this right now, so hi, Nick.
Hi, Nick.
But he just sent me a bunch of bath stuff. He was just like, oh, the package will be there soon, and I was like, okay. Like, I just like forgot about it and opened it up, there was like no note, and I was like, who the fuck got me this? And he's like, hope the package got there. And I was like, oh my god, that's so
Yeah.
nice. Like,
Yeah.
thank you,
And
and like,
that's like, that's why I'm so grateful for that weird ass little like cluster
mhm.
of mostly dudes out there, like that like that's what they do. That's
Yeah.
so fucking nice. And like they don't get enough recognition for that. Again, the
No.
idea is like, they're just buying. Oh, by the way, I had to say in this episode, because it is December and this is coming out during the holiday seasons,
Hmm.
all right, there are plenty of body safe sex toys
Hmm.
that look like candy canes. Okay. So this is once again my yearly reminder that anything that's made of sugar goes nowhere near your hoo-ha.
Don't put it in there.
That's a yeast infection, baby girl. Don't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, or
Don't do that.
baby boy. Don't put it
Or
in your
baby boy.
butthole.
I mean, for God's sake, every year. I mean, I'm not on MFC as much or at all, like at this point, but like every fucking year, you'd be like,
I know.
no, like
Yeah.
no,
Please,
that,
please
like
don't put that in there.
don't do that. Don't put that in there. You just know
Yeah.
they've been camming for like a few months, and you're like,
Yeah.
no, no, you're Gucci, no.
Yeah, no,
I'm saying don't do
it's
that.
not the right move. There's, like you said, there's
Yeah.
plenty of things that look like, I saw a Jesus Christ crucifix dildo, and that was
Whoa,
great.
dude,
I was
that's
like,
fucking
Jesus is
wild.
coming, like,
I'm
for
like,
sure.
yeah, literally. Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
so just
like,
don't do that.
no, don't do that. So like you and I, like we definitely achieved like, I'd say personally, like levels of success that have made our lives like so good.
Hmm.
But I want to talk about like one holiday thing that like just fucking it blows my mind every year. So like Zia Fox,
Hmm.
top tier creator, still running the game on MFC.
I know,
Like
it's
I
really
don't know how
impressive.
that girl still like goes as hard as she goes, but like she's one of the best creators I think on that platform, hands down.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Um and I remember like for several years, again, this would have been like 2015, 16, 17, like her like Christmas pile,
Hmm.
like the mountain of boxes that
Oh
she would
yeah.
receive every year. Like, sometimes I'd lurk that stream, the Christmas Amazon stream, and she'd be opening gifts for like hours,
Yeah. Yeah.
hours of stuff. And I don't know if you saw, but she's changed it. I don't know if this is the first year, if she's been doing this for a little while, but she now, instead of asking for things for herself, she asks for things to donate to like kids organizations.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
talk about being grateful for cam girls and for supporters, but like, isn't that so fucking wholesome?
No, that is. It's the evolution of the camming side of things where like, you know, you're very like when you're younger, you know, you're it's part of like the whole putting on a show thing is like
Oh
opening up the
yeah.
presents on
Mm-hmm.
Christmas or whatever that may be, but to like really change it because like it's, you know, you have like a mentality of like being spoiled and, you know, have that competition with other members where like they're,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they're all
Mm-hmm.
getting you stuff
And
for
they like
tipping.
that too. Like a lot of them like
Yeah.
it too. Like, that's part of the experience for sure. But
Yeah, but then to like have someone be like, actually, we're doing things differently, and then have people respond really well to that and not like, I don't know, like, you know, there could be people that just like they don't want to do that. They don't want to, you know, they
yeah,
want it to be about her, and that's totally fair because that is what she's made her career out of, which
yeah,
is amazing, and that's why she's able
amazing.
to still keep going.
Oh yeah,
But you know that like mature. I think that's like that's you growing up and like
it
maturity of
is.
being like, I actually have a lot, and even
Mm-hmm.
if she didn't, you know, if she was, you know, still just camming to cam and not because
Mm-hmm.
she was being that successful. You know, I'm thinking about the TikTokers now that are going to do the angel tree stuff and they are, you know,
Mm-hmm.
they're rich, like they have plenty of money, they don't have to go do it. And I think we get really tired of watching people do things for other people for show, like they're doing it for content, you
Yeah.
know, and that gets really tiring to see because you're like, well, I don't want to see the homeless person that you're helping and
Like
like
it
you're
just
barely
seems like
helping
it kind
them,
of
you
seems
know?
like using them as a prop and
Yeah, like
whatever.
when I went to go feed the homeless on Thanksgiving, you know, like 2017, I just went around downtown and handed out, you know, like food and water and blankets and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, and there was no one out except for, you know, people that were unhoused. And
Mm-hmm.
I when the person that I was with was like, "Can you get a video of me giving this stuff to this person?" And
And you're like,
I'm
no,
not gonna lie, I did the video, but I took it really shitty
no,
because I was just like, "This is not what it's about." Like
yeah,
when we got like 30 tacos from a Jack in the Box, and the
nice.
first person that we handed them to, he was so thankful and he was like,
Mm-hmm.
you literally just saved my life. And I have never had a heart like a heart orgasm like that. Like
Yeah,
I felt so good, and it wasn't because anyone else was watching me do it. And I think that's probably what Zia is experiencing, is that, you know, she's like genuinely helping people. It's not just because she wants people on cam to think that she's a good person. It's because she like
yeah.
actually is trying to be one. And you
Yeah,
know,
and
that's
is pulling it
beautiful.
off. And
Yeah.
isn't it so cool? Because, like, no matter what, there's always a marketing angle, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, when you're a content creator, you can never be separated
Yeah.
from marketing, right? Like,
Yeah.
no matter what you fucking do, whether you film it, whether you don't, like, it will always, in some way, in a more literal way, be marketing.
Yeah.
But she's also providing an entertainment experience for
Mm-hmm.
the people that donate that probably gets really close to how you felt that day.
Yeah, no, I would imagine so. And being able to do so much more for people. Like I was, you know, I was still doing stuff for people, but would always want to do more
Mm-hmm.
if I could afford to and stuff. And that's why
Mm-hmm.
watching the people on TikTok now actually go and get the things like they, you know, the Angel Tree notes and stuff for the kids. They really have like 3 or 4 things on that list. But these
Mm-hmm.
girls, and there it is, I've only seen girls doing it. Like I'm sure there are men that are
Mm-hmm.
doing it too, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, they're getting influencer packages and UGC stuff constantly, and they're taking out from those piles and giving it to the kids too. And it's not girl buy a kid a bike, like that's not a cheap thing to go
No, that's
do.
dope.
And yeah, and she just like, you know, the kid wanted Spider-Man toys and she couldn't find any at first, but she found 4 different ones and she just bought them all. Like it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna
Yeah.
pick which one. You know,
Yeah.
she's making an effort, and that is, you know, something that a lot of people can't afford to do. And
Mm-hmm.
it's totally fair. Like I'm not in a place right now where I can go and, you know, do those kind of things for people, but I'm still trying. Like there's still things that I want
Well,
to do, you
and
know.
again, like if I swing it back to like being so grateful for every single person that contributes, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
the neat thing about this is, let's say that, like, random member number one, he's only got $5,
Yeah.
right? Like, but if random member number one is 100 people and they all give their $5, something cool can happen from that.
Oh
Like
yeah.
in some ways, like the way that cam girls or content creators can show up on the internet, you know, when they're able to, obviously, fucking when you got to pay your own fucking rent and shit, like, you
Yeah.
know, charity does come, like, we all get it, but like
Yeah.
it's the combined effort of so many people that just do a little bit that lets us either do a lot in our own lives or even when we're in an amazing place of privilege, do more. Like, we're already doing what we can to provide entertainment and fun and laughs and fucking orgasms to the people that we spend time with.
Yeah.
But my God, when money from that can go into doing something even more, like that's crazy.
Yeah, no, it really is. It's like a whole other side of the industry that people don't realize. And I think, you know, if someone was explaining to their, you know, people in their lives that they're hanging out with someone online for a certain amount of hours and they're giving all this money, you know, would that conversation be changed a little bit if they were like, yeah, but they donated all that money to, you know, a children's hospital or something? It's
Yeah.
like, are you
You know,
really being like, you know, the skis ball that people will think that you are if you're saying those things, and then add on
yeah.
to like, well, but they actually gave all that to charity. It's like, well, then,
Yeah.
you know, is that really like a bad thing if there were like random orgasms
Yeah,
possibly
I know.
included?
Like okay, so he jerked off in the process, but like, come on. Like,
Yeah.
first of all, good on him
Yeah.
for
Spreading the
enjoying
Christmas
himself. And then,
cheer.
like,
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I don't
and I
know.
just
I'm just,
especially love Christmas time. Like I love the holidays, and I think when life is really hard, like it has been, you know, for a
yeah.
lot of people, and I'm not even just saying like us, like I know a lot of people are going through it and I know it
Oh,
gets
yeah. This year
harder.
is a tough one
Yeah,
for
and during the
sure.
holidays, it doesn't get any easier. You have, you know, like there's so many things that I'm like, well, fuck, like I just want to be able to like relax with my family and my friends and not have to like think about any of the things, but it's not realistic when you're like actually an adult and stuff to like put off those
Yeah.
things. But
Yeah.
the Christmas time for me makes it a lot easier to tackle those things and like remember
Yeah.
that like this is a time of, you know, gratefulness and
Mm-hmm.
you know, realizing that like there are people that are way more or less fortunate. And that doesn't mean that like, you know, well, I'm so fortunate now and like I should think about other people. It's not like that. It's, you know, it's
Yeah.
just the fact that like we're all going through it. It's a collective fucking
Yeah.
shit ball of shit sometimes. But
Yeah.
there are also people that, you know, if you can do it, you should. And
Yeah.
you know, that's all I can do at this point is like be
Yeah.
thankful for the moments and stay as present as fucking possible because
Yeah.
I can't change anything else that's going on. Like focus on the
Mm-hmm.
things you can control. And the things that I can control this year is the Amazon wish list that I made because my mom I was telling you this earlier that my mom works at a mental health facility and these kids and adults have tons of issues, like tons of mental health
Yeah.
problems, and
Yeah.
they don't have any family and they really only have my mom. Like my mom, you know,
Mm-hmm.
she's baking cookies with them and she's doing yoga with them and she's
Mm-hmm.
decorating Christmas windows and like, you know, trying to make their days a little bit easier, but they need stuff and I made a Amazon wish list that has a bunch of like basics, but also like kids' toys and adult toys and coloring books and like stuff that will just like
Sick.
ease
Yeah.
it a little bit. So I
Yeah.
will link it on my Instagram and on the Professionally Hot Instagram
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
anyone
We'll
that
plug that
wants
shit.
to, yeah, because it's just like if it's just one thing, it makes a huge difference in someone else's life that like I can't personally fix, but I will absolutely fucking try my hardest, you know. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna go do the angel tree, like there, like I was saying earlier, there's babies that need stuff, and I know the
Yeah.
bigger kids will be taken care of, but like I would rather try and you know spend the money that I have on people that will never know who I am, but will
Yeah.
appreciate those things because I don't care about
Absolutely.
being known. I care about you know trying to it's kind of selfishly motivated because I'm like, well, I want to feel good that I did
Okay,
something.
Kenzie, you know what? Actually, like, there is a massive philosophical debate on whether or not altruism is actually
Yeah,
real.
yeah,
So, you know, this is not a philosophy podcast, but I can fucking pop off about that for hours. It literally doesn't matter.
yeah. No,
Like,
that's very true.
and I feel like we can swing that back around to like, you know, even on an individual level, right? Like, let's say that we wear our stupid little fucking slutty Santa dresses. Okay, we put on our stupid little fucking slutty Santa hat and we show off our stupid little fucking Santa boobs, right? Like, you know, we're providing a
Yeah,
moment of like personal and physical enjoyment to anyone that buys it.
Yeah.
And we don't know what these people are going through. Like, we don't know if they have been working like their fucking asses off and they get home at the end of the day. Life is equally or even, harder than it is, for our, like, you just don't fucking know.
Yeah.
And if by putting out a piece of content gives them like a couple minutes of like them time, even that is good. Like, we can feel grateful for our ability to let people jack off. Like, I mean, that sounds fucking weird, but like, that's where that it is what it is, right? Like, and I think that's really cool.
It's giving.
It's giving.
Yeah.
It is giving.
It's giving season. I love that all of our minds are absolutely warped and we can't not think it
I
just
literally
says
like
it's giving season. I'm like,
it's
oh,
giving.
what else is
It's
it giving, Santa?
season. It's giving Santa titties. Yeah,
It's
I'm
giving no
into it.
candy canes in your fucking badge, please.
Yeah, no, please don't do that. Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like to sum it all up, like, Ken's, I'm so fucking grateful for you. I'm
Me
grateful for
too.
MFC to have like connected us to like each other and
No,
all
we
our
never
other
would have been
fucking.
here without it. It's so
No,
weird. It's
no,
so
it's so
fucking
weird.
weird.
That dinosaur ass GeoCities motherfucking looking piece of fucking green ass somehow helped me not only build a life for myself, but also like build a life with you.
I
What the fuck?
know.
That's the best.
I know, it's so cute. You're like,
It's
I
so
think,
cute.
I think about all the friendships that I had when I was younger and stuff. And like you said earlier, like you're always looking for more. And like I've always been a more friend giver where like,
Mm-hmm.
if someone didn't live up to my expectations, but it wasn't expectations, it was more just like appreciating the things that I did do or just like my love in general. And like I don't struggle with that at all anymore. And I
No.
appreciate that so much. Like I don't have to think like, gosh, I wish that I had someone that understood me. I'm fully understood.
Yeah. Oh
Like
yeah. Yep.
it doesn't take much anymore. Now I'm like, okay,
No,
well they get
right.
it.
Like, we get to have each other, and we wouldn't have each other if it wasn't for these circumstances, which is really fucking crazy. It
I
just
know.
brings forward so much thanks,
Yeah, no, it's so true. And I just freaking love you and I love our podcast and I am thankful for MFC too and all
Yeah.
the people that come with it and
Yeah.
you guys just freaking rock my socks
I
off.
know. I know. And like, this is such a fun episode to do because I just know, like, give us 2 weeks and we're gonna launch into fucking roasting some part of it. We're gonna go back to like talking mad shit, right? But like, anytime we do, this is always the foundation.
Yeah. Yeah, we're still very thankful for it all.
Like, seriously,
Yeah.
mind-blowingly thankful for all of it.
Yeah, no, I even think about like my 30th birthday and stuff, and I'm like, God damn it, like that was the best birthday I had. And it wasn't because we didn't like go club, like, like the Vegas birthday that I had was very fun. I remember like literally crying in the club, but like,
That's my favorite thing to do.
I know, but
Dude,
we
wait, hold on.
didn't,
Side quest,
yeah,
fucking side quest story. Literally, like, after my Spotify Wrapped came out
yeah,
and roasted me because whatever. Spotify was like, "Can I recommend you this playlist?" And the playlist is literally called "Crying in the Club."
I love that.
I'm like, okay, leave. Can you not
Yeah,
right now, please? Yeah, fucking
Spotify
lame.
knows you too well.
Yeah, way too well.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, all those things, all my birthdays that I've had, because I am the birthday bitch, and I
You
make
are.
a big effort for my birthday because I don't want to be disappointed. But like, so many people are a part of that, and
Yeah,
if not for MFC, like, you, me, and Ash wouldn't have been able to go do those kind of trips. Like,
I know.
we're very, very blessed to just be able to be like, yeah, we can do that, and it may not be a forever thing. I'm sure one day we'll all have any kind of stuff and blocks that get in the way of like having those moments. So I very much appreciate them now because I'm
Mm-hmm.
fully like I think COVID definitely made me way more thankful than I could
Oh
ever
yeah.
be. Like remembering you running to me from your house
Oh
was
my
like
god.
it will play in my head forever of like
Yeah.
moments of like being present and being like this
Yeah.
is what it's about, man,
Yeah. Yeah.
before I
Absolutely.
get too sappy and start crying because I'll probably get my period soon.
Oh my god. Me too. That's so funny.
I'm thankful for my period.
I guess same. Yeah.
Well, this episode was lovely and it made me feel just a little bit better. And I will take that little bit better and run with it, hold on to
Yeah.
it until
I
something else
know.
comes along.
And I hope, like, if you're like a fucking industry hustler doing your thing, I hope you can take a moment or two. Even though it's hard, right? Like, shit's not easy right now, but just
Mm-hmm.
taking a minute to remember, like, damn, like this is actually pretty sick, you
Yeah.
know. And for all of the members and supporters that are out there listening, like, I hope y'all feel fucking good about what you do, because what you do is good.
Yeah, no, it's very true.
Yeah.
And just for like the simplest, of the thankfuls, like when you're having a hard time remembering how to be thankful and what to be thankful for, if everything else is actually shit, remember that you are breathing and that the sun is outside and that you are capable of doing whatever you need to do to get through that, whatever that coping looks like. And I
Yeah.
think that there are probably a lot of people, I know that there are a lot of people that, have a hard time looking around their room and finding things to be thankful for. I think it's a
Yeah.
lot easier
Yeah.
when, you're in positions that are, where we're at and stuff. And those
Really
aren't always,
privileged. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. But, like the simplest of being thankful can just be I'm here. Like,
Yeah.
because there are so many good things that can continue to happen and you can't have the good without the bad. Unfortunately, that's just the human experience.
Yeah.
And it can
Exactly.
really suck, but it can also be so freaking good. Like,
Yeah.
and I think through every hardship there is, something amazing happens. And, I appreciate whenever I'm at my most uncomfortable times because I know it's just actual growth and
Yeah.
that I deserve to have those moments of growth and trying to figure it out again, as hard as it can be. It's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
well, I mean, we talk about this all the time that like we have moments of realizing that like our past selves did a lot of work. So these present selves have the ability to, look around and see what we need to cope with. And that those
Yeah.
coping skills are okay because you're thinking about it this time.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, like, fuck the hardships that me in 2013, when I was taking a hard look at my financial standing, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, this is really tough. I'm gonna make an MFC account, and now look,
Yeah. Look at
like,
us.
what the shit.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah. Who'd have fucking fucking what? Who would have fucking thunk it? Girl, that's the end of this fucking episode because I'm running out of the ability to say anything, apparently.
Yeah, I have to go watch Grey's Anatomy. It's very important. I have doctor things to do.
Oh, Jesus, you absolutely do. What a busy schedule. Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
But thank you for listening to us, friends. We really appreciate it. I will post that wish list on my Instagram and Twitter and stuff, and I'll post it on the Professionally Hot Instagram as
Yeah.
well.
You're gonna have
If
to tell the
anyone's,
people what's your Instagram. They fucking
I
run the tape. Where
will.
can we find you, girl?
You can find me on Instagram at kenziebaby.x. You can find me on Twitch where I live stream at xkenziebaby. And my Twitter is fatherfucker with a V, and my OnlyFans is little baby. So
Hell
yeah.
yeah. Go buy some Santa titties from Kenneth. Yeah.
Yeah. AshleyTea, tell them
Yeah,
where
you
your
can
stuff is.
fuck. You can find me at Hey Ashley T literally everywhere. And for safer work stuff, you can find me at Ashley T Cozy literally everywhere. And I've been running a sort of like a video store, archive, a compliment page that goes alongside my paid page. So if you go to onlyfans.com/heyashley.tv,
Mm.
you'll see brand new well, not brand new, it's like fucking literally 4 years old at this point, but whatever.
Yeah.
I'm releasing ho 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 content all month long, so
Yeah, I'm
go
doing
get
12
your
days of Christmas this year, so I feel
fuck
yeah.
yeah, go
Yeah.
get your Santa rocks off because you
Yeah.
deserve a little bit of you time. Yeah.
Santa's coming to town and in my body. And
Yeah,
also, you can
exactly.
find us at the Professionally Hot Podcast on Instagram and the PH Podcast X on Twitter.
Hell yeah.
And we're going to do 11 episodes for the first season because we just decided that that was going to be it. So we'll have,
Yep.
this is our 10th. So we'll have
Yeah.
one more come out for Christmas time. And then we'll probably take a little break to set up for season 2, which
I
will be a little
know.
bit more professionally hot and a little bit less not professionally hot.
Look, all we're saying is that we're going to upgrade from our phones to actual microphone. Can you believe that we ended up on people's Spotify Unwrapped and we're literally using our fucking phones for
I
this
know.
shit?
You know what? It's just because we're amazing, and why wouldn't they listen to
Amazing.
it?
It's hilarious. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, thanks,
All right.
guys. Stay grateful.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.